Hello, this is Serrano Keith Bailey from Texas Justice Review. I'm just coming out of the courtroom. I'm supposed to be seeing with Judge Emily Tobolosky because Judge Stacey Williams' case was transferred to her. But she's too busy, and I got hooked on to some judge by the name of Nichole Munoz in 6th floor 6B. I just knew. The minute I took a look at her, I just knew there was going to be problems. You know, I'm just like that. I'm good with analyzing judges and seeing who's good and who's not. So it was supposed to be a very simple temporary restraining order today. And the restraining order was supposed to be that my ex and her attorney, Judge Stacey Williams, gave an order that they're not to hold me in contempt or take my property or lock me out on July 31st. And on the next day, they still went to another family court judge. They violated her court order, and they got it anyway. So I'm trying to explain this to Judge Nichole Munoz, and it's like it just goes over her friggin' head. I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but come on, this is the law. They said that I violated their order on June 25th to vacate my property, right? But I have a bankruptcy protection. So bankruptcy protects me, and it's like she couldn't understand that. You're a judge, and you can't understand that? And I was shocked. If there's a bankruptcy, you can't evict him, and you can't use that same date to try to hold him in contempt because he had a bankruptcy. Stacey Williams understood this. But every time we went before Stacey Williams, these lawyers would just show up and bombard her and bombard her and bombard her and confuse the issues, talking about everything else but the issue. So anyway, Judge Stacey Williams did not dismiss the case. She actually recused herself because they wanted her to dismiss the case. They wanted her to send it back to family court. And she said, nope, I'd rather recuse myself. So that's why I came over here to Judge Tobolosky. And Tobolosky is very close friends with, guess who? Ray Wheelis. Ray Wheelis is the chief judge who I said should be recused from making any decision, not just on me, on other people as well in Dallas County. So he has been helping his buddy Ray Wheelis, Michael Snipes, who's on my criminal court judge on a family case. And this guy has been going after me, all my civil rights, violated. So I sued his ass and the rest of them in federal court. You got to express my language, but come on. So I'm talking to Nichole today. I don't even know. I don't know how these people became judges. I don't. She's an associate, so she wasn't elected. She was chosen by Tobolosky. So anyway, Tobolosky and the chief judge is friends. Just remember that. So they took it from Stacey Williams when it was recused, and they sent it to Tobolosky, which I had concerns about in the beginning. So here's what's supposed to happen. They said I was supposed to vacate my house on June 25th, right? I filed for bankruptcy. So they can't do anything about June 25th. But they did it anyway. They came on August 1st, and they when my house, it was going after my house. Because my ex got $1.2 million from Michael Snipes. I got zero. How the heck does the law get away with this kind of nonsense? The law is 50-50. And he's like, nope, no 50-50. She gets everything. She gets $800,000. She gets all the 401k. She gets everything. What about me? Because I'm a man? Because you got your ego bruised, I get to be punished? That's basically what Michael Snipes is doing. He got his ego bruised, got up in the court and says, I've been a military, I've been all these things, and you dare to challenge me? That's what his case is about, not law. He's pissed off. He's in a pissing contest. So it was supposed to be a simple hearing today, simple hearing. Judge Williams told them on July 31st, do not hold him in contempt. They went the next day and they did it anyway. Do not lock him out. They went the next day and they got an order to lock me out anyway. Then they went on the 13th and they tried to get her to dissolve her order. And she says, no, I'm not going to do that. And well, then can you do this? And she says, no. She held her order. My order on July 31st is active. So let me give you some evidence and see what happens. This is my evidence list. I don't know why this Judge Nichole Munoz was acting like that. I have a feeling it's politics. So, I'm prepared. This is the bankruptcy, right? I'm going to make sure the camera's here. This is the bankruptcy. 625. 625, they said, you better leave the house or we're going to arrest you. And I said, okay, then no. So August 1st, they came back, right? And before I show you that, I'm going to show you Judge Williams' order. So here is, this is the guy, Michael Snipes. He's just signing any shit, excuse my language, anything that my wife gives him, he just signs it. I can't cut a break with all these other judges. But as soon as she gives him something, he signs it. So, look at this. Over here. This is Judge Williams' order, right? And it was on July 31st. It says you cannot get a writ of enforcement, you cannot possession, you cannot evict the plaintiff, you cannot take the property and enforce any kind of contempt or lockout, right? That's what she said not to do on July 31st, right? Come back here. August 1st, the next day, they still did it anyway. They went to Michael Snipes, commitment, county jail, granting attorney's fee, right? The next day. Just remember, this is a divorce case. I'm supposed to just get half the money and go home. But look at what they're doing to me. This is not half the money and go home. This is they want to put me in jail because I won't give them my property, and I'm simply asking for 50-50. That's what this is. Just give me my money and I can go home. But instead, the attorneys now are ripping me off. Michael Snipes here, presiding judge. He's a criminal judge, has no family law experience, but Ray Wheeler, the chief judge, is giving him cases to help him meet his quota. After, this is Stacey Williams again, this was the order. So they came back and they tried to get her to remove her order, and she says no. The August 1st emergency motion to dissolve TRO is denied, okay? And then she says the July 31st TRO is valid and in effect at all relevant times. The bankruptcy automatic stay concerning the property, Coppertown Lane, was in effect on June 25th. So basically, she was on my side. She was trying to not let them take my property. But then the attorneys keep showing up. So then, look, her order went all the way till, these dates are important, and I try to show this judge this. August 14th is when this expired, right? Can't hold me in contempt. They went on the 13th, the day before, and put a writ of possession to hold me in compliance. Okay, you're hereby to keep into custody, taken into custody from my own house. This is a divorce case, 50-50. But I'm to be held in custody in jail, county jail, in accordance with the court, right? The home located at to be sold by the receiver, Travis Cross. And this guy doesn't even have a certificate, an oath of certificate. He didn't file the $100 like he was supposed to. But they're doing all of this, and they're getting away with it. So Nichole's thing today, I tried to tell her this. I said, look, if they violated Judge Stacey Williams' order, then what they filed during that time is dismissed. It's void. She says, well, she didn't renew it. It doesn't matter if she renewed it at the time. And I don't think what really angers me with these judges is at the time. At the time. Do you understand at the time? Do you understand it? At the time. The order was written. They violated it. So anything they did is void. She did not want to listen. The attorney said she's no longer in the case. It's a lie. She's not making any money on the case. It's a lie because if the house is sold, she gets $50,000, right? She said, and they tried to deem me vexatious. They deemed me vexatious because my ex made an application that I should be held vexatious, so I won't sue her again. I won't sue the attorneys again. And you know what Michael Snipes said? He signed it. Vexatious. Just because, and the only two people that's involved in my vexatious claim is my ex and the attorney. And everybody's like, oh, he's a vexatious person. By whom? By what? I can't protect myself. And here's the attorney, when she got the order not to hold me in contempt, we are still intending to move forward today hearing anyway. And I tried telling that to Judge Nichole, and she didn't want to hear it. It's almost like somebody called her, somebody told her, just deny it. And the only person that can do that is Michael Snipes, because he's been calling all over the place to try to get me banned and not push forward. But I'm in federal court. I sued your asses in federal court. So I may not, the state court, they're all corrupted. Everybody here is corrupted. If you show me a judge that is not corrupted in Dallas County State Court, and I say, oh, wow, finally we found one. But they're all in cahoots. So wherever I go, Michael Snipes is going to call, and they'll block it. Thanks for watching. No, I'm going to continue because I was holding this for YouTube, and It's 10 minutes, so I'm going to continue because I was doing it for TikTok. I'll cut it there. But anyway, this is what they're doing. The judges are calling up judges. Michael Snipes was calling up. So here's how they got me for vexatious, right? I sued my ex last year when she got caught of committing fraud, her and her attorney. And July last year. And it went before Judge Huffman, and it went before Judge Maria Aceves, all Dallas judges. Listen to this. And Michael Snipes calls Huffman in front of me. Huffman calls him, he calls him back in front of me and says, throw the case to me. Now, this is a district court case for fraud, embezzlement, and all this kind of stuff. And you can't just take a case like that and send it to family court because there's no remedy. There is no remedy in family court for what I'm asking in district court, but they send it to him anyway. Both those cases was in default status. So Michael Snipes was scared that if they had ruled, he would lose his case. So he calls them up and influenced them to send the case to him. That's 2 cases. What they did is they flipped it into family court numbers. So now it looks like 4 cases. Then they took this current case that I have here and one with Gina Slaughter, that's 5-6, and they said he's vexatious. No, and this is all with my ex. All with my ex. And she made the application because it says Stacey Balio's application to deem her husband vexatious. Hey, why don't every divorce case, guys, why don't you just do that? Why don't everybody just do that? Make an application, a woman to court lying, stealing, hiding money, and doesn't want to give it up, to just say, hey, deem my husband vexatious, and the judge will give it to her. I have never sued anyone else except Councilwoman Kathy Stewart, and that case is still alive in the very same court, and it scares me in Dallas County. So how am I vexatious? And by the way, it's the county is supposed to do that. The county or a judge, not your ex. Your ex, it made a motion to file you. Why don't you just make another motion? How about we file a motion to put him in a sanitarium, crazy house? How about we I'm issuing a motion that he not talk on public camera again, and the judge signs that. I mean, how about we just give her everything? I mean, she got everything else. The last thing that's left is this house. She got $1.2 million total. And the last thing that left is the house, $80,000, and the lawyers want it. They're selling the house because the lawyers want to get paid for my equity. This is your divorce. You should pay for it. Making a 6-figure salary in my business did not pick up my media business in Dallas, Texas financially. So with that, this is how these judges are calling up one another, helping one another, because this Nichole Munoz in Dallas 646B, I have no... I mean, the minute she walked in, I had a bad spirit. It's like a bad spirit just came over me. And I already knew something was going to happen. It's narrowed. They're saying that I violated a court order, right? But I had a bankruptcy. I'm saying they violated a court order that Judge Williams issued, and they have no protection. They just did it. We're going to do it anyway. Why? Why did they violate a court order? And the judges are saying, hey, they can do it. Yeah, they can do it because, that's past now, and, since it was back then, they can violate it back then. But what they got back then was to evict me, take my stuff, and they went back to Michael Snipes. I mean, everybody should have a freaking judge like Michael Snipes who can just sign anything. He doesn't read, doesn't question. I get questioned like hell. I get scrutinized. And then Judge Nichole is talking about vexation. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about how that was corrupted? Why don't we talk about, I'm not even, but they just did it just to get me. Michael Snipes, why is somebody investigating him and arresting him for abusing his power, abusing his authority to try to rip my life and deprive me of my justice? Why isn't he arrested for official misconduct, official oppression? When they investigate, how did you deem this guy vexatious when he's a defendant? How did you do that? He's a defendant in your courtroom, and you already said that. Did you just get too pissed off at him that you didn't care about the law? So, and his wife made the application of all people, the one that biased, prejudice, and wants to steal all the money? That's the person that you took it from. So, I Judge Tobolosky, Emily Tobolosky, I think it's 290, what's the courtroom? I didn't finish this evidence thing, so let's see if there's anything else here. Okay, this is the writ of something to have you arrested. $20,000 of my money, hardworking money, my property for a simple divorce case that the attorneys are now getting, right? Just because my ex won't. Look, I have an appeal. I filed an appeal on June 18th, and I told the judge, while the appeal is going on, they can't take any action. She didn't care. She was like, well, I got a phone call from the chief judge to dismiss your case, so. And when you have an active appeal, they can't take any action against you. And look, there's an order they did, right, to liquidate my personal property and item. And Michael Snipes filed that, right? And what date they use? June 25th. That's the same day of my bankruptcy. How are they getting away with this stuff? The same day of the bankruptcy you're using to go and steal all my property? Well, and then you deem me vexatious because my wife asked you to, my ex-wife? My ex-wife asked you to deem me vexatious so she can hide all the money and you did it? I mean, this is just freaking crazy. And now they're in my house, they're destroying all my property, they're stealing all my stuff, and this judge says they can do it. I have no respect for Judge Stacey Williams' order. And she was listening to their lawyer most of the time. She heard me speak, and I tried to narrow it. They violated a court order, and they have that in my house right now. I want you to block that because they violated a court order. Well, you know, Judge Williams didn't renew it. I don't care if she renewed it. They violated it. What is wrong with these judges? They violated a court order. It doesn't matter if it was last year, 15th, or this year, January, or the 16th, during the time that was violated. And what really pisses me off is they're saying I violated a court order on June 25th when it was during my bankruptcy. How do you get past that stuff, right? So, is there anything else I want to say here? Look, and I even showed her this. This was June 25th. I left the keys outside, property. I even left a note. I left the front door open access. If you want to come and take it, it's on the trash can. You can come and take it anytime you want. So how is it they're in my house stealing all my life's worth property and locking my house down? And they said I violated a court order when I didn't. I told them, come and take it. I have a bankruptcy. They didn't come. They didn't take it, but they said he violated it. It doesn't make sense. No, how could he violate it when he said, come and take it? Here's the keys. So it's a mess in the Dallas court. Really is corrupted. Judges helping judges. Judges holding one another. This is a political case. Michael Snipes is a criminal judge who's vicious if you piss him off. Unfortunately, I pissed him off, so I get nothing. Ray Wheelis is helping judges. If you file something with him to recuse somebody, he will help them in a scheme more than he would help you get the truth and justice. I have a feeling the reason Judge Stacey Williams recused herself was because she was under pressure to dismiss this case, and she refused to dismiss it. She could have, but she didn't. The attorney said that I filed this case after the vexatious thing, which is a lie. It was before even the decree. The attorney also said she's not making money on this case at all, when, if the house is sold, the decree said she gets $50,000. So she's lying it through her teeth, and I can't question her. I can't rebuttal her, and that's why I asked for a trial. That's why I asked for a jury trial. You come to these courts, get a jury trial. Don't waste your time. Then Nichole kept asking her, did you file a motion to dismiss him? You know, like shoving me away. This is my freaking motion. This is my motion for you to listen and say, look, people, this guy had a protective order, and you still went and got a writ of possession during a protective order. This is what she was supposed to stay with. She refused to do that because somebody spoke to her. I'm telling you right now, somebody spoke to her. The same thing with Kim Cook when she put Michael Snipes back on the case. Same demeanor. Soon as she walked in the thing, I looked at her and I said, uh-oh. I knew it. I know a good judge when I see it. I know a judge who's got a bad demeanor and I can read their spirit. So this Nichole character heard this thing and decided, even though I didn't violate their court order, I'm in contempt. even though they violated your court order, they can just go do whatever they want. I am endorsing that they can go and take your property, even though they violated a court order not to do so. They can still go. I'm endorsing that. I don't know how they're judges. I don't know how they're I just can't understand. The law is so simple. I didn't violate their order because I had a bankruptcy, but I'm in contempt. They violated Stacey Williams' order, but that's the excuse is, well, she didn't extend it the fourth time. And since she didn't extend it the fourth time, we can just dismiss everything they did against you the first and the second time. We're just going to ignore that, what they did. I don't know how people become judges. I don't know. But I have a feeling this Judge Nichole knew what she was doing. I have a feeling somebody called her and said, listen, I need you to block this guy. Michael Snipes has a history of calling every single judge that has something or some case that he's involved in. He was in the prosecutor's office and he was called case fixing. Look it up. He was case fixing in the prosecutor's office. So my only remedy is federal court, because none of this bullshit, excuse my language, none of this nonsense is going to happen in federal court. And that's going to take some time and that's going to take some doing. But I think in the end I will get justice, but not in state court. Everybody here, I'm a vexatious person. How? How? Show me how. Somebody show me how. It's my ex that asked for it. And the vicious judge, Michael Snipes, just signed it. So now let's examine that. How is he vexatious when the only two people in this circle of corruption is the wife, the ex-wife, and the attorney? Only two people. Ex-wife and Victoria Warner. So how is he vexatious when the only thing he did was file a complaint to protect his rights? So right now, I can't protect my rights. That's why they're in my house right now, and I can't sue them for violating my personal and private property. Because my ex and this judge, and I don't know what the relationship with them is. He told her she can go have sex with whoever she wants to have sex with, even though she's married. Even that's true in family court. You don't get to talk like that to my ex. You don't get to do that. But that's what he does. This is the corruption of Dallas court. So how many judges we have in tow so far? We have Kim Brown. She was the first judge that I had recused. And then my ex's application went through 7 other judges. Now, this is not my application. This is hers. And they're trying to say it's my fault. No. The 7 judges in family court read my ex's complaint and read my recusal of what she did illegal, and they didn't want anything to do with her. Just remember, this is her case. But they're trying to say, 6 judges dismissed his case. No, I didn't sue anybody. She did. She sued me. And guess who dismissed it? 6 family court judges that happens to be black that probably would have not let her get away with her nonsense. So I did sue in federal court for gender discrimination because all this nonsense is not supposed to be happening. If you reverse the role and the guy's making a 6-figure salary and kicks his wife out on the street and try to put her in jail, try to have her arrested because he's hiding $1.2 million and he wants to take her property, put her on the streets and get the rest of the money for equity to pay his legal fees, that would never happen. So why is it happening to me? All this is a division of property. That's it. Why is Michael Snipes signing an order telling her she can hide the money, and my order is I'm not allowed to audit the money. I'm not allowed. I have a court order not to audit the money that she's hiding. So you have a judge helping her hide money, have a judge signing away vexatious things so I won't sue for the money, and then so that's 2 things that's very important. Michael Snipes signed an order. I am not allowed to go after the money that she's hiding. Michael Snipes signed an order that she puts forward. Just remember, this is in the same circle of battling in family court. This is not outside where you're suing people left, right, and center, and you're vexatious. But once they deem you vexatious, it makes you look horrible. But then ask the deeper question, how was he vexatious? But isn't his ex that did it? And isn't you the same judge that told him he's not allowed to go after the money? You can stealing money in a proceeding as a judge from one party to the other. You should be arrested for official misconduct and official oppression. Why is Michael Snipes not arrested? I went to the district attorney's office and you know what they told me? Oh, he used to work here, so he gets a free pass, basically. We're not going to do anything because we know him. This guy had 14 Congress people sign a thing for him because he wanted to work in the Department of Justice. That's how powerful he is. And that's why when I went to Nichole today, I knew the phone calls happened. I knew somebody spoke to somebody. If you were in a jury and you see this evidence, would you say, well, since Judge Stacy didn't extend it a fifth time, we can just dismiss what they did to him to steal his house, his property, and his personal stuff? They violated it. I didn't, and I'm punished. They did, and they get a free pass from Judge Emily Tobolosky and Nichole Munoz from C, B on the 6th floor. Just remember these judges. One of the reasons that I do these videos is so that we can know who these judges are, and we can call them out, and we can find some kind of way, other than the State Judicial Board of Conduct, to get rid of them. She's appointed, by the way. I knew it. It's a simple thing. Violate a court order, you don't get to use what you did to violate the court order to take his property. So right now, 40 years of my life, because of Judge Nichole and Judge Stacy Williams, she doesn't get away. I know she didn't dismiss it, but she could have saved me. She could have just signed a TRO. Hey, you know what? I already signed it. They shouldn't be in his property. They shouldn't be doing this. I already told them not to do it, and they're still doing it. I told them not to do it. So these are the judges. Judge Stacy Williams, there's Nichole Munoz today. I have to watch Judge Emily. I know she didn't make the decision, but she did pass it to somebody, so I'm going to give her a pass for now. All the family court judges didn't want my ex's cases. And my ex went to her favorite judge, Michael Snipes, deemed me vexatious, so I can't sue her for the money she's hiding. And I mean, the dots are there. You filed an order to hide the money, and then you had a family court judge